this video, I want to share with you a cheaper alternative to one of my favorite highlighters that retails for $68, and this is the Burberry Fresh Glow Highlighter Illuminating Powder in Rose Gold number 04. This is the highlighter that I use when I want something to look natural because it doesn't have chunky glitter, and at the same time, of course, it's not going to be a natural look, but it's going to give me like a radiance to my skin that I can't really achieve with other highlighters. This is my holy grail highlighter, but retails for $68, and of course it's going to take me a really long time to go through this highlighter, so I'm not worrying about having to repurchase it, and I use it every single time I want it. But if you wanted to try this highlighter but you don't want to spend the $68, or you can't afford to spend the $68, then I have a cheaper alternative for you, and it's from the Wet n Wild collection. This is in Precious Petals. This is a highlighting powder. I think they came out with these powders about a year ago, and I'm going to put them side by side so you will see that they are pretty much the same size if you are going to put it in your purse or if you're going to keep it in your collection. And look at that. Fine dupes, they usually look different side to side, but when I swatch them, they look very, very similar. Now this one, I have to say, it looks a little bit more gold. I think it's more of a finishing thing that they do, so it looks a little bit more gold in the areas where I don't have that. As you can see right there, I kind of use up all that area, and I'm missing the little design that this has. So around it looks a little bit more gold, and in the center it's actually spot on the same color if you put them side by side. It's kind of hard with the light. Sometimes it hits one more than the other depending on the angle, but I'm going to put it at close up so you can see with very low light how they look compared to each other. Now I'm also going to show you right now the swatches so you can see how they're almost identical. They do have a few, you know, things that makes them different, but when you put them on your skin, I put one side with the Burberry and the other side with the Wet n Wild, I can't really tell the difference. They look the same. The formula is very similar. The Wet n Wild one is a little bit more soft when you apply it, and the Burberry one is not as soft when you first start to use it, just because of the little design that it has. But other than that, they perform the same way, they look the same way on me, and if you have a medium skin tone, I think these are the perfect highlighters for you. Now I have to say, while I was working on it just before Thanksgiving, I did use the Wet n Wild one, and it lasted me for about 8 hours. This one lasted me for about 11 hours, looking pretty much the same as it did in the morning. Keep in mind that I'm sharing this information, but it actually depends on the foundation that you use, the powder that you use to set your foundation, how it makes it blend, and how it stays, if you use a setting spray or not. But as a general, you know, using the same foundation, using the same technique, using the same brushes and everything, you know, there is a difference on how long the highlighter will wear. I don't think that would be a problem for most people, but it's something that I still wanted to share with you guys. So if you don't want to spend the $68, then at least you have a $4.99 alternative to create the same look that you would get with the Burberry. Of course, the packaging is not the same. The Burberry one looks high-end. It feels high-end. It looks beautiful. It comes with a mirror, which the Wet n Wild doesn't, and it looks beautiful in your makeup bag or in your makeup collection. The Wet n Wild one is very simple, but of course there's a difference on price that it's going to make the packaging look cheaper, or at least make it in a cheaper way. Doesn't have a mirror, but I don't think it's something that a lot of people care about that, but I still wanted to mention it. So anyways, this is something that I think you should try. I think it's going to, you know, give you that same effect, that same look, even though they're not exactly the same. You can achieve the same results and save a little bit of money. If you're new, please remember to subscribe so you won't miss any new videos. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you on my next one.